The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show, Tuesday live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Thank you for joining me on all the platforms we are streaming from, Instagram and TikTok, the big guy Ryback 22 on those lives. And as always, at Ryback TV on YouTube, Twitch at Ryback Rules, and Facebook, Ryback Reeves. And also, all episodes are uploaded daily now back on the podcast platform on all wherever podcasts are available, iTunes, Android, Spotify. They should all be loading up on those as well if you just want to listen on the car rides or whatever the case may be. If you don't want to see my big ugly face, you can hear my big beautiful voice. Welcome everybody. Long day for yours truly. I'm 3 hours of shoulder work earlier with my guys, Dr. Carlos and Dr. Sean, and which I posted on my page. We got a cool video coming up, which is probably will do fairly well on social media. Actually, I think they did several videos, but and I got home and hurried up and chugged an ISO Hungry plant-powered caramel cookie shake with a couple servings of pistachios, and then got my workout done and had to do more hanging from a bar with a reverse grip to kind of help this area that's really, really glued down with scar tissue, and to kind of stretch out this area in the high armpit tricep tie-in. And boy, they got a lot of work done today. And when I see my other therapist that does a lot of the manipulation, we're really, really going to get a lot this week. We've been getting more and more every week. So, and had a good workout. I didn't do quite as much today. My energy levels, it took a lot. The 3 hours is a lot of work on their end and on mine of constantly moving. And it's a fairly painful process that my pain tolerance is so high now, but even so, there's some of it that is a bit, it just takes a bit out of you. I've noticed on the days I see them where we go really, really hard, the energy levels dip a little, but it doesn't stop me. I still keep going. And I'm not going to lie. I was like, man, a nice little 20-minute nap would just go on the couch, throw a couple ice packs on, just shut the eye, set that alarm for 20 minutes. Just, even if you don't fall asleep, just lie there with the eyes closed. Oh, that sounds so beautiful and sounds so nice, but here we are. Good to see all of you. I thank all of you guys for joining me. We're back doing the Ryback Show live, and we're here for everyone, the new listeners: health, fitness, supplementation, nutrition, pro wrestling questions. I'll do my best to give you my opinion, what I think, and as I always have, from a lifetime of being in the business. And even though I haven't been as close to it the last couple of years, still very much involved. Good to see all of you guys. I thank you. I ask too for the people that do join. Try not to do your best, because these things are to help people. And I understand if you follow another channel and you want to try to disrupt things, you're going to get blocked. You're going to get put in timeout, whatever the deal is. And we'll hide you from the channel, and we're going to keep on doing business. Be better human beings than that, guys. I see it, and it's unfortunate. It comes from the pro wrestling side of things. And it's one of my least favorite things on how people like that try to stop things. It's like, we're here for you guys to talk, to have fun, to laugh, and let's not spam the chat. Keep the hellos, and that's why eventually too, with everyone, we're going to be going to Station Head with the Station Head app, and once they have it on, we're able to stream from the laptop, where I'll be able to have the callers selected through the laptop, where everything will be synced together, which they told me is going to be finalized fairly soon. Then we'll do a lot of the call-ins with questions, with me talking to you, a more fan-friendly, very interactive show as this is. But obviously with the chat, sometimes things can get a little spammy from time to time. Hello, guys. Yeah, the release of Braun Strowman was, I think, surprising to a lot of people. I honestly don't understand it. I'm not, as I've said, I don't know if there's something else going on that everyone else isn't privy to. Um, I don't necessarily buy the budget cut. I don't think $1 million a year is a huge difference. See, I don't understand it from this standpoint. The dirt sheets or the people that will report this stuff will a monster deal. First of all, that's not a monster deal. Is it more than a lot of guys in for over there? Yeah, nowhere near what anybody should be getting still. With that said, he was one of their top tier guys, one of their main guys. It has been the last several years. I know he's bringing in more than his downside contract. They are making money on it off of him, much higher than what they're paying him, much higher through merchandise action figures and all their merchandising deals around the world, which they have different deals with different countries. A lot of people aren't aware of. They are making more money than they've ever made. So when I see that they release him, a guy like that, out of nowhere, and then the report is it's because he's on $1 million downside. There's guys there that are making more than $1 million too, and he was one of the guys making them money. Now, a lot of those other guys, I don't think were making them a lot of money. Alistair, not so much because he wasn't on TV, wasn't being used. I think he was making a money still, but not nowhere near what he would have been had he been used from when he first debuted and had things progressed from there. The other guys, and Lana's another one that's surprising. Lana has a fantastic social media following. Lana is known by a lot of people outside of pro wrestling. Lana's very recognizable, right? Lana's a very beautiful woman who has been with them for some time now and has done fantastic. And you look at that and I go, I believe Lana was making them much more money than what her downside and what she was making. So the budget stuff doesn't add up. And now, if you were making cuts of people that weren't making you money, that makes sense because you're getting rid of the money you're paying out, and you're not getting that back in that investment. But bigger names, Lana and Braun more so, and only because Alistair had been off for a while and hadn't been on there all that long. But still, you could have him in that as well. I don't understand it. And part of me, I've said before, is I wouldn't be shocked. This is knowing Vince enough, 75 years old. Could this be, it's almost like Vince is saying, hey, sign these guys AEW. In a weird, odd, crazy Vince way, it's almost like he wants them to get more star power and give him a little bit of run for his money. One last race for the old dog. It wouldn't shock me. That's the way he is. And maybe he sees it as one last opportunity because, too, he's not afraid to fail. I'll tell you that much because he's failed many times and he's not afraid. And I think that's a great thing. And I do respect him a lot of things from a business standpoint. From a personal standpoint, things I think he could be so much better. And I've talked about that. It upsets me from a personal standpoint and the things they've done to me on a personal level. But I believe he has an out. He's going to be able to sell the company. He's going to get all that money eventually. And I think it's almost like, does he want like just a little bit of life to live? I don't know. Towards his later years. I don't know. I know his brother Rod, who I communicated with quite regularly, who I would consider to be what I would say on a friendly. I'm very specific. I don't just call people my friends. I think me and Rod, we had quite a bit of communication together, very open communication and and I respected his brother a lot. His brother was only a year or two older, and passing away suddenly, which was truly unfortunate. And I do feel for Vince on that, and with everything, and with Patterson being gone, you got to look at that real life things taking place. People are dropping left and right around him. That I don't know. Is he doing stuff to just to create a little excitement towards the later years? I don't know. I have more questions than answers at this point on those releases. Now, all the Office people and other things that I understand that if they're slashing to make so that on when the quarter comes up and they go over the numbers and things look better on paper and shareholders are happy, and I get that. But for people that are bringing in money, not so much. If you're cutting $1 million and the guy's bringing in 50 million or 30 million or 25 million a year, is that a good move? You tell me. I don't know. Dumb as fuck. Good question here. That was a good question, though. See, this is what we're doing, guys. We're just, you throw it up there, I'll hit it out of the park or swing and miss. Tim T goes, hey, big guy. Tim T, my Zevia man. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Delicious. Your good friend is named Delicious, about him making the steps towards a plant-based diet. His main concern is that he thinks plant-based foods consist of a lot of salt. I would disagree with that. I think it depends. If you're eating the foods that were provided on this planet, most of those are very low sodium on that. And now, if you're eating a lot of canned foods with not the low sodium versions or no salt added versions, eating out a lot, your sodium intake is going to be a lot higher. So I would like, when people say stuff like that, you should say, well, have you Googled low sodium plant-based foods and made a list and actually just looked and seen all the options that you have? Because you probably got hundreds of things you could eat. That's what I would say. And I would dare say they probably haven't done that because that takes work. Instead, they saw something that was plant-based and he picked it up at the grocery store. Delicious. Well, your friend Delicious was walking through Sprouts one day with his wife, and he was like, honey, my boy Tim T was, she's like, who the fuck is Tim T? The Zevia man, hon. And she's like, oh, yeah, the Zevia man. And he's like, I'm really thinking about going plant-based. And then he picks up one thing that is plant-based, and it's a processed item, and it has 2,000 milligrams of sodium. He's like, I can't eat this. This stuff is bad for you. Let's get a steak, honey, and some potatoes and call it a night. Chances of that happening are much greater than him actually Googling and writing down in the low sodium foods. Just my opinion. I have seen a lot of the A&E documentaries. They're not a lot of them, some of them, and I think they're very well done. I think they've done a great job, and there's so much history and stories to tell with pro wrestling and WWE, and I think something has changed with them. And like I said, with Vince being older, where they're telling stories for a lot of things that they have the information on, and I'm happy they're doing it. Regardless, there's only so much you could tell on that, but it's they've done a very good job on those, and a lot of that's my childhood for me as well, and as a lot of us, right? So I think it's always good. And again, you watch stuff, even though there's producers for all of that. So somebody's making the decision on what story they want to tell. And I would imagine the talents involved do have that are alive, have say on to some degree on what they want to leave the people feeling on that. But it's hard. It's an hour thing, documentary to tell a lifetime, a body of work. You can only do so much in that. And I think they've done a great job. Timothy Flames says, have you thought about being a personal trainer, or maybe you have already? I don't know. I'm new to the channel. Well, welcome to the channel. And no, I run Feed Me More Nutrition. That alone is, I mean, I'm that alone is enough. All right. And then on top of that, all the people I have that help me tremendously on through my social media stuff. And I do so much of my own social media, and just doing this alone is far more work than you could ever imagine. It's not just talking. There's a lot that goes in setting up, putting out and distributing, and in making sure descriptions and little things are just takes time on that. And then training, rehab for my body to go back and go be hopefully one of the greatest pro wrestlers again, and with my goals, and live up to what I believe I can truly be from a performance standpoint and physical standpoint, an entertainment standpoint. I got to do a lot of things to make sure I have all these pieces under control when that happens, which will delegate more responsibilities of mine to other people so that I could balance my time. And then I'll have to figure out what that time is when I'm there. I don't even think about it now. It'll be too overwhelming. I go one day at a time. So training people, I think jobs where your time is used like that is not as beneficial as doing stuff online. But even doing workouts and typing out stuff, I'm not, the effort that takes for each person for the money that would come in, I'm better off using my time with what I'm doing already. So long-winded answer, but that's why I don't do that. If you want to increase your muscle mass, guys, you got to increase your calories, quality calories. You got to hit the weights. You got to have physical activity in there, and you got to kind of track your progress and results and your calories. Yes, I have crushed apples with my hands. We've done it. We've done it at TV many, many times, actually. There was and it depends on where you're at, how you're feeling for the day. The apple, there's a lot of different things. I was pretty consistent with being able to smash apples. And but there have been times I remember too that you do sometimes, and then like something will happen and you get like something on one of your fingers will get raw, and then it's not as efficient. But I've done it many times. It's not to say, can I do it every time? No, I can't do it every time, but I can do it more often than not. So double S, if you want to lose weight, again, basal metabolic rate calculator, you got to start tracking your calories. You got to, the main thing you got to do is you got to make the decision to start trying. And we live in a day and age with Google. I find most people already know how to do it. It's more of just getting your mindset ready to do it, and stop making excuses, and you just start doing it. And you got to want the results, like you want that breath of air, that oxygen. A good thing, and an analogy I heard a long time ago is, and it's true, and I know this when I go out of my pool. If you're out in a pool and you go underwater, now say you're underwater and somebody's holding your head underwater, and you're panicking, and you got to get up to get that breath of air, that want, that desire, right? That struggle, that hunger for that breath of oxygen, very valuable in that moment. That energy needs to be applied to the things we do in life. That's how bad we got to want it. Otherwise, you'll come up with excuses. You'll go, not today, tomorrow. That feeling is no different tomorrow. That's why I laugh when people go, oh, I'm going to start next week, next month, next year. I go, why don't you just start right now? Because if you can't start right now, you're not going to be able to start tomorrow. In my opinion, and the majority of human beings have proven that, because it's a shift in our mindset. The day doesn't matter. You got to start right now. Oh, well, I'll just have the cigarettes until tonight. And then when I wake up tomorrow, then I'll be able to fight off that feeling. No, you won't, Cindy. I'm telling you right now, Cindy, you won't be able to do that. You're weak because you can't do it right now. So you got to get mentally strong, and you do that through practice. And you got to make the decision. I want to lose weight, and then you want that breath of air. You want to lose those pounds. We live in the day and age of Google, and you got to start seeking that information out. You put other things on the back burner, and losing weight becomes a top priority. And you start educating yourself and picking up little things and making better choices day in and day out. If you shift the mindset, though, I swear to God to you, you will get the results. It's that easy. It's not a secret. It's all in our mindset. Super chat. We got another one up there. The great one sends some love. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for the money. The Zahak Salye, thank you very much. Good to see all of you guys. I am I'm sipping on a little bit of Complexity 10-count creatine left from my workout, mixed with 2 scoops of the raspberry lemonade. Finish it, BCAA electrolyte matrix. No, we don't have anything on the end of for lower blood pressure. Off the top of my head, I'm almost certain. I'm sure there's actually. If I'm not mistaken, there's stuff in our Hope Spot mood and stress support. If you go into the feedmemore.com page and click on the shop now and click on our Hope Spot mood and stress support and read the product ingredients, you should be able to see one in there's a handful of ingredients on that. If there's nothing on the page with that, if you Google those individually with blood pressure, I'm almost certain that there's 1 or 2 ingredients in there that do. But please check on that, because that's not what they were specifically that supplement is for. So I'm not as sure, but I feel like I'm there's something. We do ship Feed Me More Nutrition, guys, worldwide, flat rate $4.99, and then $19.99 to Canada. So anyone in the world could buy Feed Me More Nutrition. And I always say, if you're in the other countries, save up a little bit, and then we actually pay the difference. That flat rate shipping is super cheap for you. Otherwise, it would be a lot of times people with their orders, it's close to $100, and we pay the difference for you so that you could order the supplements, and that comes out of our profits on all of that. And that's just to make the supplements available worldwide for everybody. And then and then domestic, we have $9.99 flat rate domestic, and then all orders domestically over $125 are free on feedmemore.com. Good question, why you don't feel motivated to do anything in your life. You have to find what you're passionate about, and oftentimes, and you have to start learning. You have to start reading, listening to audiobooks, and pushing ourselves. You know, it's our mindset, guys. It's our mindset. We can't control who brought us into this world. We can't control what is put in our heads up to a certain point. You have to make a conscious decision to choose positivity over negativity. And that path alone will lead you down a path of happiness and success if you stick to it. And in that, you'll find that through bettering our mindset, we are able to find the things that we like or can relate to the most. That would be my advice, is start working on the positivity. And it takes time, because I don't know your background on things, and everyone has a different background and upbringing. But it's like I tell people, we have a choice. We can live our lives being hateful and negative, and I'll tell you, no good ever comes from that. Never once has it. Or you could take a chance on love and positivity and open ourselves up to a life of greatness. How do you think, a lot of people like to hate on the people that celebrities or people, social media stars or YouTubers who happen to make more than the majority of people on the planet, a lot of people hate on them, but a lot of people don't realize even those girls, guys, the girls that flaunting themselves and showing their bodies, I think it's a great thing. A lot, not saying all of them, because there's a lot that aren't necessarily, but for whatever reason, they're vibing with the right energy on attracting what they want. Now, we could say we disagree with certain things in that, but they're getting what they want and they're doing the work for it as well. So there's lessons to be learned on that. I'll never hate on that. It'll be like, that person's doing something, and whether we agree with their choices or not, they're putting in the work to get what they want for that particular thing. So, you know, we gotta keep ourselves on the right vibration, and that's where positivity. And that's why I say I don't have time for the people hating and the negativity and talking shit, because you're not vibing. You're not in the flow zone. You got to go if you're not in the flow zone. I have no time for it, and I don't hate you. I just get the fuck out. I don't want you anywhere around me. You know, if you're trying and again, you're lost, you don't know, that doesn't mean you have to try to hate and try to ruin other people's day and bring people down. No time for that, because you're losing, and you might not even realize it yet, but you're losing. And the kids that are doing it are setting themselves up for a lifetime of misery. And I'm telling you, because that mindset ain't going to go away unless at some point something really bad happens and they realize they were being horrible, and then they make a shift. Very few people will do that, though. See if we got another super chat here. Thank you, Ketchup. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. I read that having no motivation could be from watching porn. Is that true? There's definitely a thing, and I believe with that. I think balance is key and all that. And I've read and I've had guys on the podcast before that talk about giving up porn entirely, and I've done that for good periods of time. I do think if there's a balance, and you never want to get obsessed with anything for too long, where, and by that, like, you could say that with drugs, with alcohol, with porn, with video games, with social media, anything that distracts us from getting stuff done in the real world can have very negative repercussions on our lives. So it's possible, depending on your viewing habits. I see Yaya. That reminds me. So the reason, thank you very much for that, buddy. We did a video with Dr. Carlos today, and I told you guys from the episode of Cops, I saw that it was on TikTok. It was a video. It was from the 90s, where the officer was arresting like a young Puerto Rican kid, and the kid kept going, "Papi, ay, papi," and the cop started selling it, getting hot. "Don't call me Papi. I'm not your Papi." So of course the kid's just calling him Papi left and right. And this is an episode of Cops, so it's like this wasn't a social media thing. This is from the 90s, but it was hilarious. So today we did a video with the Cairo, and we doing a finger crack, because the finger cracking is really catching on online. I go, let's just do something different than the finger cracking. And after he cracked one of my fingers, I go, "Ay, papi," and then he looks up at me and he's like, "Don't call me papi." And we cut the video from there. So I'm gonna do that video with the bad boys from Cops. I'm gonna throw that on my TikTok, and then I'll plug it in on all the other platforms when he sends it over to me. We'll see how that one does. That's what I love, being creative, just having fun doing some of these things. I'm doing very well, thank you. I like doing these too, man. This is on all podcast platforms. If you guys could help the show out, and wherever you listen to podcast, if you can make sure you download the show, add it to your podcast, and if you want to leave a positive review, it's greatly appreciated on all that, guys. Yeah, I answered this yesterday. Official Jared Myers, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on Jake Paul and Logan Paul? I have nothing negative to say. I love it. Two guys living their best lives, having fun, making a ton of money. And by the way, doing a shit ton of work and training and not embarrassing themselves. In fact, Jake's undefeated, and I don't care what you say. That'll be the argument. So the haters will say, oh, he's not fighting anybody. He's not fighting anybody. They're never going to stop talking. They will simply change their argument. I'm telling you, if he wins this next one against Woodley, people are going to lose their shit. And then it's going to be, well, he's never fought a pro boxer. Never fought a pro boxer. He doesn't. The guy's not he just started this, and he's making more money than all the UFC guys. Those guys, I hope they keep winning. I hope him and Conor have a fight. I want to see. I will buy every single one of them now because I respect the hustle and the work that they're doing. And I think anybody that's hating, these guys are in the flow zone. And if you watch the things, and they're talking about the meditating, and they got things set up to where they keep their cool and their calm. The guys are in the motherfucking flow zone, guys. And I'm telling you, they're eating it up. And I love it. I love how people can really, it bothers them because why does it bother you? If it bothers you, stop watching it. That's the key. They can't. Those guys got some powerful energy, and they're attracting a lot of it. Digging it. And I enjoyed the Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather deal. It was an exhibition. I knew what I was buying when I got into it. The one fight with the second fight of the night made the night. And I apologize. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the black guy and the Mexican on that. Or was it her? Somebody in here will know it. And I want to say the names because it was such a good fight. That alone was my money for that. And on top of the main with Floyd. Thank you for the super sticker, Hadnet. And thank you to everybody on Instagram and on TikTok for you guys with everybody. Greatly appreciate it. Love Bret Hart. I've always loved Bret. And he was one of my favorites growing up. And it was, I understand Bret, knowing my personal stuff and things have gone on, and what the company's truly capable of. And I think Bret oftentimes with I think a small portion, I think people that know love and respect him more than anything. And I've always appreciate Bret. I think speaks very honestly and giving his opinion on how he feels. And I think that's a beautiful, great thing. And he would know he was there. Now, of course, different people there, people are going to have different opinions and things on certain situations and whatnot. But man, I'll tell you, Bret, I thought Bret was as big of a star as anybody when I was a kid. To me, he was just as big as Hulk Hogan as anybody. He was that popular, in my opinion. And I think it has. So I think it's unfortunate sometimes with some people can with the hate, but I think Bret is one of the all-time greats. And you watch his matches. I love Bret selling, and this is something that I try to always remember in selling. And when you're in the matches and the right times, getting the most mileage out of everything. Watch some of those matches with Bret and Austin. You see some of the Twitter clips just selling a front buckle. That's pro wrestling. I could watch that stuff all day long. I can't watch a lot of today's stuff too much because I know what I grew up on and what I like. And I like moves, but I like storytelling with the moves better. And I believe those guys. Were just absolutely unbelievable. Super chat here from Tate02. Big fan. Thoughts on Seth Rollins? Absolutely love Seth. Always loved wrestling him. I've always got along great with him. We never once easy to work with. Great attitude. Always open to doing what was best for the match. And I always like a guy like Seth. When I knew we were working live events, we killed it on main events. We'd had singles at various points. It was the crowd would lose their shit every time, and it was it was a night off working each other, in my opinion. Maybe like it was fun and easy. We wouldn't call everything all like stuff. There was stuff we'd go out there and just act and react. Of course, we'd have our stuff for other parts, but he was, you know, I always took pride in wrestling the Shield, and I knew this, and a lot of people, the story's been altered, but I wanted to see that group succeed, and they did, and obviously at my expense to some degree on that. But I saw what happened with us with Nexus. I saw what was already happening with me, and knowing kind of inside information at the time, and seeing losing whatever it was 7 pay-per-views while red hot. I saw the writing on the wall and knew what was going on. And we'd had several little things, and I worked with them a lot especially when they were new, and throughout the career, all of our careers, we worked multiple times. So I was happy to see that group, they spoke up at the right times and have had massive success, all 3 individually. Super chat. Hadnet, thank you. Feed me more. Love your food reaction videos. I got to get a new feeding time done this week. And so thank you. I greatly enjoy going out and trying the good vegan foods, and making whatever comes up. I try to just, some days I'm on and some days I'm not as on, where I like doing those videos when I'm in the flow zone of like, I feel like a humor standpoint, where I feel like I could do no wrong, at least in my head, and where the right situations happen, whether it's a person, a woman on drugs parking next to me and shitting and pissing on the street. You can't write that material, so stuff, there's certain times where things go right. I'll never forget the In-N-Out Burgers video before I was vegan. The onion like squirted in my eye as I was eating it, and I like just went into the Jean-Claude Van Damme blood sport scene. Like, I had no idea I was going to do that. Like, but I just act and react, and that pro wrestling has helped me in that over the things. So it makes doing YouTube stuff kind of fun and stuff like this, because I don't know it gives me that live feel that I miss, and you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I stay away from politics as much as possible, and we're seeing there's a bunch of stuff coming out now, right? With Fauci and things. I think there's going to be a lot more, and a lot of people that were saying this stuff got ridiculed and got called conspiracy theorists, and it's just mostly people with common sense that saw with like, what is this? Now that's all coming out, and I honestly hope he gets everything he has coming to him, because a lot of people that didn't need to lose their lives, not counting the virus from the lockdowns and all the other BS and I know some here, there's people that will never recover from that. And the whole thing could have been handled better. So. I appreciate it. Somebody on Instagram says, I'm just lazy and injury recovery doesn't take this long. And I would, I think if you don't understand the injuries at hand of like, these aren't just injuries. Career was over, needing a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement, 19 stem cell procedures in this wrote the book, wrestled for 2.5 years on the independents while launching a major supplement company, right? With all of this, doing multiple podcasts in that time, and also taking care of a dog with disc disease that had 8 surgeries. I would say I've managed this in a fantastic way, right? And my shoulder needed to be replaced, and we've literally got the function where it doesn't need to be replaced. And it's just it's learning and working with a team of people. I see 3 people a week. I just had 3 hours done on my shoulder today. I woke up today at 5:45 today. I haven't taken a break all day. And I'll literally go from this. I'll go eat my meal. I'll get my groceries. And I ordered them. I'm not going to the store. I don't even have time with that. Put that stuff away. And then I'm going to work until I go to bed tonight. So, and then in that time, I'll probably do my softball twice when I get little breaks to break up a little more scar tissue on areas we worked at today. So I'll take being lazy all day long, my man. And that's just you not understanding the situation at hand. And again, I think that comes from you love me and you want to see me go back, but you can't understand the situation. So instead, you then push out hate and negativity to try to justify whatever feelings that you have that I'm not back. And I understand, but I'll be back eventually and I'll be your favorite again, buddy. Doing the whole feed me more deal. Big guy's hungry. You'll have my poster on your wall, probably action figures. Maybe you'll see me leaving your house one day after I pay your mom a visit. So take care. I know I probably could have done without saying the mom comment, but it's a sensitive subject for the big guy. Guys, I don't hate anyone. What I don't like is people that try to spam the show and then what we're doing. That I don't have respect for you people. Dr. Bacon says the beetroot powder spill freakout episode is one of the hardest laughs I've ever had. Again, act and react. Do I turn it up for that? I had no idea the lid on my shaker that I had was loose. And so that happens, and then I just freak out. I legit do get upset because I got beetroot juice all over my damn car with the powder. That stuff will stain, and it's sticky. And oh man, and then I turn it up, and I need another freak out to happen soon. I can't, but the stuff, all the freakouts are all real. That's the best part about that is that it's not me. I can't I'm gonna the French dip one. Can't make that up. I just I'm doing the video. The damn French dip overflows, falls all over the place. That's the stuff, man, that makes those videos for me, and then hopefully for you guys, and based off the feedback, enjoyable. Good to see all of you guys. Again, guys, Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. The best way to show your support is just simply checking out the best supplements on the planet. For men and women, no artificial sweeteners or colors, and vegan friendly. Good question on this. I do get this quite a bit. Ever thought of going to New Japan Pro Wrestling? Again, I think it's fantastic over there, guys. And I talked about this for years. I don't think everything with Sophie and my dog, I stopped doing appearances in wrestling 2.5 years ago to keep my dog alive and take care of her. Going over to Japan for weeks or months at a time is simply not something I can do, nor do I need to do. And I don't think a lot of people, I love and understand the people, the hustle and the respect. I walked away in my prime to save my health and my life. Right? I'm very, very good at what I do, despite what people want to say. And I know my value, and I know the ability that I have. I know the people that I know, and I know what I want to do when I'm ready to go. And I love and respect all pro wrestling. I love and respect the hustle and everyone. I've killed myself my whole life in everything I've ever done. I know what I want to do when I'm ready. And I think it's great. Not to say that down the road a big matchup can't happen. I think that's possible. Match up. But I have zero interest or desire of going backwards in what I believe to go backwards and go be away for weeks or months at a time when I don't have to be. And I'm not going to. But I think it's great, and I love it. And I think there would definitely probably be matchups people are interested in, whatnot. I'm very, very interested in American television. That's what I like. Yeah, Andrew Locke, Dr. Bacon. Andrew Locke is I got to actually send him a message on some things we learned today and get his input on a couple things as we're getting closer on this thing. I got to work on getting my scapula and humerus working independently on a few movements. And today was a very, very good day of progress as we're getting to the end of this, hopefully the end of this. If I'm sitting here next year, oh, we're close. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting to the end of my everything with this. Justin Me says my BMR is 2,600. What calorie target do I need to hit to lose weight? Say 30 pounds by the end of the year. I'm lifting weights 1 hour daily, 4 days in a row, then a day off. Also 20 minutes of cardio. I always feel the 200 to 300 calorie marker is very good. And with that, you reduce your calories, 200 or 300 calories for a period of time, 4 to 6 weeks, and make small incremental changes along the way. Now, you could also increase your cardio, your intensity level, and your workouts intensity levels, whether that be through longer time, more sets, more reps, more weight. There's shorter rest periods. There's a lot of different variables in this, but the key in all of this is long term. And so if you want to make sure you're giving yourself using all the tools that you have available. Are you drinking a matcha green tea once or twice a day? Give yourself a 10, 12, 15% metabolism boost with that. Great thing to do, right? There's things that you could do and really, really get to where you want. And then you'll be able to sustain that and have your days, and you'll get a feel for it. So that would be my advice, because you never want to drop your calories so low that you can't maintain that. Nor should I feel you want to be comfortable in what you're going to be able to stick to. So that's why I'm a big fan too of knowing your activity level, making sure you get the calories that you're comfortable with. If you on that 2,600 calorie deal, maybe at 1,500 calories, it's just not enough. And you need to be, and you feel your best at 2,000 calories a day. Well, then you need to make sure that you're doing the other things to make sure you look the way that you want to look. Yeah, Ethiopian food. I know I've had, Egyptian, the Pots Las Vegas is an Egyptian-based vegan restaurant, and very, very good. They have some really, really good things there. I have not seen, I'll have to check out some Ethiopian restaurants and see, because I know they got an Indian place here that I did a food review on. That was very good. And they had a lot of vegan options as well. So thank you for that. I will check that out. That would make a good video. Let's see here. Did I miss? I am going to be doing another Ruffles video to follow up. That Ruffles video is going to get to 1 million views on YouTube. It's climbing more and more. I think we're either at or about to hit 800,000 on the Ryback, the Chips meme video, which I'm going to do a revenge, or going to do what is it going to be? Return of the Ruffles, Ryback's Rampage, something along the lines of that, and do another. I got the ASMR mic in there, and I'll do another video and see if we can't. I'll change it up. Maybe I'll do it shirtless and see if we can't get another meme of just a big jacked guy eating Ruffles again, and see how that one does. People, all that was just done on the whim to get views, to get attention. I'm in the game of getting attention. I use all energy the same. So I just want people to find me. My social media is being suppressed. There's a lot going on. I want to give you guys something, and I'll share a little bit of information on how serious this is. And you could tell me I'm full of shit all you want. I already know, based off the information of the people I've talked to and the things I've seen with my social media. WWE wanted specific social media channels in certain things, my website, my trademarks. They flat out wanted them. Never before have they ever tried to take a superstar's social media. They did with me. So you have to ask yourself, in which I posted the documents before, why? Why this one guy, who, by the way, had the ability to be the guy that they didn't let be the guy, and has that ability in him still? Why did they want to suppress? Why did they want that social media? And then when they couldn't get it, they did the next best thing. They suppressed the accounts that they had relationships with that they were able to suppress. And they've done it on YouTube as well. And they did YouTube. They've done, I believe, my LinkedIn. They've got my Twitter. Instagram just recently started picking up. Instagram was like Twitter for years. Couldn't get seen no matter what I did. TikTok was my saving grace, in which, and I've talked to TikTok, and then my TikTok exploded after a phone call that I had with one person over there. And you look, I get millions of views on that. Okay. My Pinterest account, we were getting thousands of views on our pins, making between $10,000 and $15,000 a month on Feed Me More Nutrition through Pinterest. That got shut down overnight. Smashed single-digit views, has not recovered in almost, it's been between 8 and 10 months. So you tell me that this isn't significant. It's very significant, and that's why I have to be very proactive. I've messaged Twitter. I've sent now 20 emails to employees of Twitter. Not one has responded. Why wouldn't they at least respond? I haven't told them any information of anything going on other than my Twitter handle. The odds are you would think somebody would respond, right? So this is something that's very important to me, and it's going to get fixed. But a lot of people don't understand it. They're like, oh, you're whining, you're crying. What would you do? This is trying to prevent somebody now, not just wrestling, not social media. This is preventing someone from doing anything with growth. But luckily, there's certain platforms that are rewarding me and allowing me to be seen, and they can't stop everything. So I've kept my cool because it's truly been a frustrating situation, but it's forced me to learn more marketing and sales. And it's going to, like I said, I'm going to make it all up on the back end. So, but it's very personal. Good to see all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Beetroot juice, eating beets, red beets and golden beets are great for nitric oxide production. Also, you guys, so I planted a fig tree in my backyard, and the figs have actually started growing. They're Turkish figs. I just bought, I just got a fresh order coming of actually the same Turkish figs that I'm growing because I don't want to, there's probably about 20 of them, 25 of them growing on the tree already. But not all of them are ripe and ready to eat. A couple of them were. I've noticed there's a difference in eating fresh figs compared to the dried figs. And the difference I've noticed is and if you read the benefits of like figs, eating the figs fresh and the seeds inside, it is almost like pouring rocket fuel in your sex drive. And that's just eating one fresh fig every morning with my bowl of fruit. And I've noticed, I go, Jesus Christ, like I might not have the figs every day because it makes it, but look into figs because it is a very powerful thing. If you take 1 to 2 fresh figs a day with the Big Guy testosterone booster, good chances are if you have a girlfriend or wife and then you're able to reproduce it, you might have a baby by the end of the year. Fresh figs. And there was a woman that I knew that recommended, I was like telling her how obsessed I was with like when I went vegan. And she was like, she goes, you should get a fig tree for your house. Because I told her I was getting a pomegranate tree. And I go to figs, like fig Newtons. She goes, yeah, but the tree. And I went and bought a bunch of different ones. And man, I love them. Thank you, Walter. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Like I said in the video, you're the new Ventura. You question them and stop the BS. They try and feed to the public. You're not in the wrong. Glad after all this time you still have your composure. No, Walter, thank you for understanding. And it sucks. I don't want it. Like, I wish this wasn't the case. But I learned early on, if I didn't stand up for myself early on, I would have been fired after the Nexus, and Ryback never would have existed on TV as we knew it with that and with everything I created before. And it sucks, but I do believe everything happens for a reason, and everything that happens has been for my favor and benefit. And everything I've spoken up on is to benefit pro wrestlers and pro wrestling and wanting the business to be better. And I see that option now exist. And I think that the business is headed in the right way. It sometimes is upsetting to me and quite frankly hurts to see that there are a portion of people that have this hatred for me and this idea of me that couldn't be any further from the truth. And I knew from day one I was doing the right thing, but I know also when I get messages from the actual talent saying, thank you very much for speaking up, saying, we honestly all wish you the best, like, and want you to succeed. Because it's like, I'm not just speaking up on things to benefit me. In fact, it maybe could hurt on some of that stuff. Right. So it was, and I never want anyone to go through what I went through with my stuff, with my injuries. And I've always been grateful and talk about things, but we're seeing this too in pro fighting. Dana White met with Vince McMahon. Dana, no doubt, probably paid Vince a very, very nice fee, and Vince gave him a business model that works as far as keeping talent underpaid, only paying a few big money, keep the majority underpaid, quote unquote hungry. But what's happened now is in the boxing world, and we're seeing these people, it's being exposed at a very high level, and the fighters are now speaking up. In the UFC, and it makes me very happy to see. See, the problem is I've been doing that for pro wrestling since I left. And when I was there, questioning things with them, not publicly, I was professional, just questioning them, which they did not like. And I would question, I go, why am I only getting, pennies on the dollar for a $30 t-shirt? And it's a design I came up with. Granted, I'm thankful you guys are given this opportunity. Why are these numbers so in favor of the company? I mean, you know how many shirts you have to sell to even do okay? Why am I signing this autograph photo, getting to the building hours early to sign thousands of photos, grateful for the opportunity to be in that position? But why are these photos cost, which I believe were like pennies to make based off the amounts that they're ordering. And me and Cena would get there early and sign at different times and sign our things. And I'm sure he had a much better rate. And then when I found out what we were being paid, and Randy Orton and me would talk about this, and Randy would question them on certain things. And I go, why am I only making $1 or whatever it is, 70 something cents on this $20, $30 photo that I'm signing? It's not right. But it didn't, that didn't help. And I never was rude about it. I wanted to know. I was like, can you help me understand this? I don't think it's right. Why is this not closer to a split? But it is what it is. I'm doing very well, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Good to see you guys all here on the Ryback Show. And again, for everybody, if you could download the Station Head app and add me at Ryback. This show, I'm going to eventually be having you guys call in through the Station Head app, which will be done right from here. And we'll be able to have conversations on all of this. Unfortunately, for Instagram and TikTok, I like to just stream live on these for you guys. That's why I read the questions out loud so you know what we're talking about on that. And I do try to pick. I did get a couple questions off Instagram today. Lena J, thank you for the super chat. Love your honesty, bravery, and outlook on life. Stay strong. Thank you, Lena. And again, the positive messages and the love and support mean the world to me, and I love seeing it. And I know that's why I put out the positivity, because I know the world needs more of it. And that's why all of us can make a difference on this. We all have different reaches, and it's our mindset, and we could really, really make a difference, because there's just so much hate and negativity, and I've lived it and experienced it with my experiences in leaving WWE and walking away and seeing, from the moment I left, articles on how I'm horrible and I treat fans horribly at meet and greets, and when it was the complete opposite. And how do you, again, we get it taken down, but that was being done to try to stop people from using me. And then people would book me and they go, Jesus, you're an absolute pleasure. One of the best we've ever had. What I read about you wasn't true. And I'm like, well, what are you reading about me? That's scary. And it's scary people believe it on it. So that was when I realized I can't stop fake news from coming out, but they can't stop me from putting out my content and just being myself. And over time, people will be able to see over and along the wait, everything this guy said has been true. This guy's always been positive, been down the outlook. Yeah, do I get upset over things? But it's never what you read, never what it's never like. So, and that's it's helped me, and I feel in that to do a lot of good. But thank you very much, Lena. The app is Station Head, guys. Station Head. And then add me at Ryback on there. And eventually, and they're getting the web version all fixed to where I'll be able to take the callers and do the show. And that will be like another outlet like the podcast. But you guys will literally be able to communicate with me on the app. I could even text you guys on the app if I wanted when I'm not I'm doing the show. If you guys are like, hey, Ryback, what's up? And if I have time, I could maybe respond. And maybe I will here and there to get to entice people to join over there. And I'm always honest and direct, and it's another way to monetize the show over there as well. But it's a way to do call-ins and actually talk to you guys live, which I'll do on the video chats from time to time. But I like those because and for the podcast with everything and just the call-ins, I just like that format. And I think a lot of people are more comfortable calling in with not being seen too. So we're going to be doing that. All right, guys, we are at 60 minutes, 61 minutes to be exact, approaching 62. And the big guy has to tap out. I got to get a lot more done and take the dogs for a walk as well. Otherwise, little guy gets really, really mad at me at night and will whine and paw me because I didn't take him for a walk. So I know I need to take him for a walk once it gets cool enough. So anyways, guys, feed me more nutrition, feedmemore.com. A lot of deals. Check out all the free blog content over there. We got a lot of original content, blogs by me as well. And spin and win deal, spin the wheel and win deal we got going on. Savings up to 35%, free gym bags, free half-gallon jugs, and sign up for my text message and email deal, one message a week on each. We don't spam, where we just give you big discounts not made available anywhere else, our specials of the week, so to speak. And you get 25% off your next 2 orders for signing up for each of those. So as our way to say thank you for supporting Feed Me More Nutrition and myself. All right, guys, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay hungry. Feed me more.